Hi students, welcome back to math class. Go ahead and get prepared with your math book, your pencil, and let's open up to lesson 148. It's found on page 267. We've been spending a lot of time recently talking about perimeter and area. Today, we're going to focus on area a little bit more and also comparing the area that we get with acre. That's been one of our new flashcards recently, and that's this one right here. 1 acre is equal to how many square feet? My memory hook for this one was just how feet starts with the sound, the F sound. So does our special number. It starts with the sound also. Remember what it was? It was the really big one. 43,560. 43,560. Let's read this card together. Ready, begin. 1 acre equals 43,560 square feet. Let's read it one more time. 1 acre equals 43,560 square feet. What does 1 acre equal? 43,560 square feet. Now remember that number because we're going to be comparing the amount of square feet that we have to this number right here to see if we have an acre, more than an acre, or if we have less than an acre. Now, whenever we're finding area, we need to go back to what is the formula for finding the area of that object. The first formula I'd like to remind you of is the formula for finding the area of a square. Now let's think about the object square first of all. A square has how many sides? 4. How many of them are congruent? All 4 of them. Congruent means what? The same shape and the same size. So if we have a square, that means all of its sides are the same. And if we're finding the area, all we have to do is take one of those sides and multiply it by itself. Now, according to yesterday's lesson, we could say that the formula is area equals side times side. Or we could say the formula is A equals S squared. Do you remember what S squared means? S squared means take the value of S and multiply it by itself. Whatever the S equals will be our base. The squared is the exponent 2. That means we're writing down the value of the S 2 times, one over here and one over there, and we're multiplying it by itself. Whatever the answer is, that is going to be your area. But don't forget, for area, we always square our units, okay? So that would be inches, squared inches, square feet, square yards, square miles, and so on and so forth. I'm going to put this formula on the board as well as a reminder. There we go. We're all set. Are you all set with your book? I hope so. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. Class practice. Find the area for the following shapes. Mark yes if more than an acre. Mark no if less than an acre. Remember, an acre is 43,560 square feet. That is really important, really important, okay? We're comparing it with that number, 43,560 square feet. If it's more than that, we're marking yes. If it's less than that number, let's mark no. Let's start out with writing our formula first. Go to section, or letter A, section 1, letter A. What is the formula for finding the area of a square? Area equals side times side. Notice they did the shortcut from yesterday's lesson, side squared. That means we're taking 206 and multiplying it by itself. Let's do that together out to the side. 206, whoops, let's not do it jumbo size. How about that? 206, that's a better, times 206. 6 times 6 is 36, carry the 3. 6 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. 6 times 2, 12. Annex a 0. Erase or cross through the numbers that we carried. Anything times 0 is 0, so let's just go ahead and go to multiplying by 2. Let's annex one more 0. 2 times 6 is 12, carry the 1. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. I'm running out of space, but 2 times 2 is 4. Now let's add that together. 6, 3, 4, 2, 1. Whoops, I made a mistake. 4. Sorry, I'm running out of room. Let's add our commas. 1, 2, 3, comma. Now you're used to my writing. You know I write like a kindergartner on these things. Okay, so let's go ahead and write our answer down. A equals 42,436 square feet. Don't forget to write square feet. There we go, right there. Don't forget to write that, okay? So here is our answer. Now let's look at our answer. Oh, look, I just made a trapezoid. How cool is that? Okay, I'm gonna circle it though. All right, is 42,436 square feet more or less than 43,560? It's less than that. So do we have an acre? Yes or no? No, because the area that we received was less than 43,560, we do not have an acre yet, but we're really close. Let's move on to letter B. Now, what is the formula for finding the area of a rectangle? The area of a rectangle is equal to length times width. Length times width. Go ahead and write that down. Length times width. Now let's plug in our length and plug in our width. When we multiply that together, we will get 43,956 square feet. Is that more or less than 43,560 square feet? It is more than that. Since it is more than that, yes, we do have an acre. There we go. Let's move on to letter C. We're using the same formula. That means we're taking the length and multiplying it by the width. 299 feet times 145 feet. Let's multiply that out to the side. Oh good, I've got lots of room over there. I'm actually gonna put 299 down last. You'll see why in just a moment. 145 as my first factor. Remember, the rule for multiplying is you can flip the factors and your product will still be the same. Your partial products might be different though, but that's okay. 5 times 9, 45. 4 times 9, 36. 36 plus 4, 40. Carry the 4. 1 times 9 is 9. 9 plus 4, 13. Guess what? Because we're multiplying by the exact same number, we can go ahead and just annex a 0 and copy those same numbers down. 5, 0, 3, 1, and we've just multiplied by 9 again. Now it's time to annex 2 zeros. This time, let's go ahead and cross out what we carried to get ready to multiply by 2. 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 makes 9. 2 times 1, 2. Let's add our 3 partial products together. 5, 5, 3, 1, 4, 13, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, comma. 43,355 is our answer. Oh good, it matches. Don't forget to put the square feet at the end of that. Do we have more or less than 43,560 square feet? We have less than that. So do we have an acre? No, we do not. Let's move on to our first story problem. Mr. Zimmerman has a piece of land 207 feet by 222 feet. Does he have more or less than an acre? Well, let's find the area to figure that out. Well, we need the area for finding the area, will we need the formula for finding the area of a square, or will we need the formula for finding the area of a rectangle? What kind of object is this? It doesn't say rectangle, it doesn't say square. So how do we know? Well, if it were a square, all of the sides would be equal. Since it's only giving us two sides, that tells us that one of these is the length and one of these is the width. Therefore, this object is a rectangle. Let's use our formula for finding the area of a rectangle. What is that? Area equals length times width. That means area equals, oh no, they do not tell us which one is the length and which one is the width. How do we know which one is which? Whichever number is the largest is the longest and is the length. That means 222 is our length and 207 is our width. Now, because I discovered that I have all this extra piece of paper over here, I'm going to go over to the side and do my work. But remember, you can flip your factors and get the exact same answer, even though your partial products might be a little different. So I'm actually going to put my 222 on the bottom. Can you think of why I would do that? Because they're all the same number. I'm only going to have to multiply one time, as long as I multiply correctly. 7 times 2, 14, carry the 1. 0 times 2, 0 plus 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Annex a 0, copy that product down again. Excuse me, that partial product. 4, 1, 4. Annex 2 zeros. Copy your first partial product again. 4, 1, 4. Add your three partial products together. 4, 5, 5, 9, 5, 4. 1, 2, 3, comma. We have 45,954 square feet. Do we have more or less than 43,560? We have more than that. Since we have more than that, we have more than 1 acre. Same man, different problem. Mr. Zimmerman purchased 13½ acres of land joining the land that he already owns. He paid $7,500 per acre. How much did the land cost in all? Well, I bet you're taking a look at the words in all and you're thinking, ooh, that means I am going to be adding. And yes, you could, but you would have to add that how many times? Well, you'd have to add it 13½ times. Why don't we just take what we have and look at this other word here, purr. Remember, purr is like a cat, what a cat does. And the cat has those whiskers and the whiskers look like a multiplication sign. Purr means to multiply. Let's just multiply those two together, shall we? 13½ Let me label this so I'll know which one I'm doing, which is which. That's always a great idea. This was C. Keep my work organized. We're multiplying that by 7,500. What's our rules for this? You can only multiply a what? A fraction by a fraction. We don't have one, so we make one. We still don't have a fraction over here, so let's do our backward C. Multiply the bottom, add the top, keep the same denominator. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2, so that's 26 plus 1, 27 times $7,500 over 1. Our best friend in fractions is cancellation. We can cancel this because these numbers are even. What is half of this number here? 3, 6, 1, 5, 7, 14, 1, 0, 5, 10, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. $3,750 is the canceled answer. Lastly, let's multiply by 27. We might need to go out to the side for that one. 7 times 0, 5 times 7, 7 times 7, 49, plus 3, 49, 50, 51, 52. 3 times 7, 21, 21 plus 5, 26. Cross through or cancel what we carry, annex a 0. Anything times 0 is 0. 5 times 2 is 10. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Let's add our partial products together. 2, 11, 1, 3, 10. 1, 2, 3, comma. It will cost him $101,250 to purchase the 13.5 acres of land. This person obviously lives in the South, because you could not even purchase 1 acre of land in San Diego for that amount of money, I'm assuming. Okay, good for you, Mr. Zimmerman. All right, let's move on to section 3. Find the perimeter of these rectangles. Let's always start with our formula first. Because we're talking about perimeter of a rectangle, we're always going to use our formula P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. Let's go ahead and write that down. Now that we've written that down, we'll replace the L's and the W's with what L and W stands for. Remember, the number that is the largest will be your length. Now, let's just multiply each of those numbers by 2. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 9 is 18. So 1,882 plus 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 9 is 18, 1,864. Add those two together. 2 plus 4 is 6, 8 and 6 is 14, 8 and 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Carry the 1. 1, 2, 3. 3,746 feet. Why is it not squared? Well, because we're finding the perimeter. Never square perimeter. Let's move on to the next one. I think this one's going to be even faster for us. Start with the formula first. What is the formula for finding the perimeter of a rectangle? P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. Write that down. Which one is the length? 5. Why 5? Because it's longer. And it's also larger. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4. Add those together. What do you get? 14 yards. If you're curious, there's letter C. It's a green letter problem, so we don't even have to worry about it, but 56.2 feet would be the perimeter of 13.1 feet by 15 feet. Lastly, let's move on to sections 4 and 5. Yesterday, we talked about squares and square roots. Let's go through and do all the squares first, okay? I'll read them out loud and you echo with the answer. Letter A, 7 squared equals, did you say 14? I hope not. That's not what squared means. Remember, squared means multiply the number by itself. What is 7 times 7? 49. Go across to the next square. 5 squared equals 25. While we're at it, I guess we're doing H. 4 squared equals 16. 20 squared equals, well, what's 20 times 20? It's not 40, that's 20 plus 20. We need to multiply that together. Go out to the side if you need to. 20 times 20, annex a 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 2 is 4. So 20 squared is 400. Let's go ahead and do this other hard one. 42 squared, that means 42 times 42. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Annex is 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 4 is 16. Add your partial products. 4, 16, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, comma. 1,764 is equal to 42 squared. What is 8 squared? 64. Now let's do the opposite of squaring, which is finding the square root of something. Letter B, the square root of 49 equals 7. Go to D. The square root of 25 equals 5, because 5 times 5 equals 25. Letter G, the square root of 64 equals, think, what times itself is equal to 64? And these have to match. They have to be the same. 8. The square root of 16 is 4. Okay, remember squares and square roots are opposites of each other. Okay, at this time, I'd like for you to work section 5 independently, and then you're gonna check back in with me with the video, okay? So go ahead and pause and work. Go. Okay, if you are still watching, that means hopefully section 5 is all done and we're just ready to check. Here we go. Octagon, 8. Triangle, 3. Trapezoid, 4. Heptagon, 7. Pentagon, 5. Square, 4. Hey, 4 square. Maybe that's where they get the name of the game. Parallelogram. I think maybe we should start calling it, instead of 4 square, 4 parallelogram. I don't think it has the same ring. Hexagon, 6. Whew. Okay, guys, this was a great review today of a couple different things. Number one area is equal to how many square feet? 43,560. What is the formula for finding the area of a square? Area equals S times S. What is the simplified version of that? Area equals S squared. That means to multiply the S by itself. What is the formula for finding the area of a rectangle? Area equals length times width. Don't forget, students, for all of your area problems, your units must always be squared. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.